morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Melissa Valdez, and I'm proud to serve as principal at Memorial Middle School. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to Laredo ISD's Memorial Day ceremony hosted by our LISD Board of Trustees. And now we get to close our school year with this very important observance. Please know that you honor us with your presence, and we will always be deeply grateful to the men and women who died while serving their country. So thank you for being here, veterans. At this time, I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Memorial Middle School teacher, Mr. Jose Cárdenas. Mr. Cárdenas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies as we remember those valiant soldiers of the United States Armed Forces who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. At this time, I ask that you please rise for the invocation to be given today by Memorial Middle School student Laida.
Good morning. Today we are here to honor those that have served, gave all to make sure future generations continue to know life in a free, democratic society. Remembering those who have passed is only half of the task that is here before us today. We must also carry their love, honor, and duty forward to the future generations that will pass. Our children must know who they were, what they did, and why they did it. To do anything else will be a disservice to their sacrifice and their memories. Those that are gone created a clear pathway for us to continue. We must never waver from that path of freedom and democracy. Take their memories, take their dreams, and walk forward shouldering the cause of freedom. Carry it high and proud. They did, and now you must walk forward for them and for our children. May God bless them, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Dr. Leonidas J. Cigarro. The anthem will be performed by the middle school Eagle Band under the direction of Mr. Jose Zapata and Ms. Vanessa Rodriguez. The United States Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge will be given by David Gonzalez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Honor. Base. Pitch. Left. Blue. Freestyle. Punch. Punch. Three. Go. Five. Face. Forward. Out.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce our dignitaries joining us this morning. Please help me welcome the Honorable Monica Garcia, LISD Board President, members, the Honorable Boyo Lopez, Superintendent Dr. Sylvia Diaz, Constable Guadalupe Gomez, and the members of the LISD Superintendent's Cabinets. Please rise. The Board of Trustees of the Laredo Independent School District, represented by the Honorable Monica Garcia, LISD Board President.
Good morning. Welcome everyone to Memorial Middle School today for this solemn occasion where we're here to remember all of those who went out in war and fought for us to enable us to continue to be free in this country. I also want to thank all the veterans that are here today with us. Thank you so much for the service that you have given to this country and given everything you have given for us so we can stand before you today. So with that, on behalf of the Laredo Independent School Board of Trustees and our Superintendent of Schools, we thank you for your service and we continue to remember and never forget. Thank you.
Our instructional leader places a great emphasis on love of country, patriotism, and citizenship. Please welcome to the podium the Superintendent of Schools for LISD, Dr. Sylvia G.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, our honored veterans, and all of the honored guests that we have, and all the students from Memorial Middle School. It is such an honor for me to stand here. It is a privilege as well. And ladies and gentlemen, and those who have served in our armed forces, there is no amount of words or actions that we can do to give you back what you have given to us. I look at this list of men and women who have sacrificed their lives, and then I think of all of the families who have done the same, so that the principles of our democracy, our country, and all of the freedoms that we have can still continue. And we might think, what is Laredo? Where is Laredo? Who is Laredo? You are Laredo. What we can offer back to you, and I ask you students to please think about this, these gentlemen, ladies who have served in the armed services. You are probably way too young to think of someone who went away to war, thousands and thousands of miles away, in a foreign country, in a foreign place, where people didn't understand who we were, how we spoke, a different language from us. I want you to think, students, about a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother, an aunt or an uncle, someone who left this country and never came back. When we talk about what we can do for veterans, I will tell you that besides the services that the United States offers, I will tell you that the one thing that we can do for those who have served and who have sacrificed is offer our deepest respect. And I'm going to say that again, our deepest respect. So when you see someone wearing that cap, saluting our flag, standing straight and tall, and even right now, maybe you can't stand up straight and tall because it's been so many years. What I want you to know, that these young men, and I'm saying, and women, way back since 1914, and I know no one here is since 1914, but I will tell you that they stood tall. They took an oath to defend our country, the principles of democracy, and to stand against any foreign or domestic enemy. And even today, those who serve continue to do the same. Because there is value in the lives that are now gone. There is value in the people who sit here and represent those who have gone. There's friendships that will never ever die. When you were on that field, or when you were on that ship, or when you were out in a jungle, or when you were so far away from those who loved you. What I can offer you today on behalf of our Laredo ISD family is that deepest respect, because you had the courage, not knowing what was out there, not knowing what you would encounter, who you would encounter, not knowing what kind of fear you would have when you stepped off that plane, when you stepped off that carrier, when you stepped off that ship that brought you to a land you did not know. You did it. And there are very few in this community that can say that you stood there. So when I see that cap and when I see you standing tall, trying to salute our flag, I know how much it means. It just means that you had the courage that many have not been able to display. So to our students over there, and I'm looking at you, I am saying that I hope that there never is a day when someone or this country puts a number to you and says you are now drafted to serve on behalf of our country. But if that day comes, then I ask you to stand just as proudly, fear behind you, just as these gentlemen and all who have served in our armed forces. I ask you to respect what they have done, to honor who they are, and more importantly, to remember why we still have a country where you can almost say anything you want. And it is because of the sacrifices and the oath that they took and that others continue to take on behalf of our country. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Know that in every family there is someone like you. So I thank you and I honor you on behalf of Laredo Independent School District, our Board of Trustees, and all of the ladies and gentlemen sitting there. One last note, we have had 4 scholarship events. And I will tell you, looking at the young men and women who on that day were given a scholarship from the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, then I tell you that I feel gratified that that oath means a lot to these young men and women who are just graduating in 3 or 4 days. Thank you for being the example. Thank you for showing us what love of country is. And thank you for always displaying the honor that we need to pay respects to every time you are here. Thank you.
ask that the veterans joining us today to please rise and be recognized. You have our gratitude for all the sacrifices you've made and for your valor in serving our country. Thank you. Thank you to everyone joining us this morning. We have a very special guest with us this morning. Tomas M. Rodriguez Jr., a native Laredoan, is a 1960 graduate of St. Joseph's Academy, the same building that now houses our beautiful Memorial Middle Campus. After graduation, he attended Texas A&M College, which is now Texas A&M University. While he was there, he was a member of the Corps of Cadets class boot camp during his junior and senior year. After graduating in 1964 with a bachelor's in civil engineering, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, completed the basic officers training and combat engineering school, and began his first tour of Vietnam, where he served as 3rd Platoon Commander, C Company, 3rd Engineer Combat Battalion, 3rd Marine Amphibious Force. Among his many duties, Mr. Rodriguez would search and disarm mines and booby traps, as well as the use of explosives in offensive and defensive operations. Unfortunately, he would be wounded on March 11, 1966, and while recovering, received news of his father's passing, which led him to return to Laredo and not return to active duty. He stepped into the leadership role of the family business, Rodriguez Pipe and Steel Company. Furthermore, Mr. Rodriguez continued with his military career when in 1967, he joined the Marine Corps Reserve. While in the reserve, he served as platoon commander, executive commander, company commander, and Battalion S3 operations officer. He was promoted to major in 1970, lieutenant colonel in 1980, and retired from the Marine Corps Reserve in 1989. Mr. Rodriguez served as the Del Mar Water Conservation District Manager in 1983, Assistant Utilities Director and Water Utilities Director in 1991, Senior Engineer for Mejia Engineering in 1996, and a host of various positions in the Utilities Department for the City of Laredo until his retirement in 2015. While Mr. Rodriguez's devotion to his country and hometown is noted through his various accolades that include the Bronze Star with Combat, Purple Heart Navy Presidential Unit Citation with 2 stars, National Defense Service Vietnam Citation Medal, and the Republic of Vietnam Gallant Cross Unit Citation and Campaign Medal, his proudest role was as a devoted husband to his late wife Diana and father to his 6 children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome Mr. Tomas M. Rodriguez.
Thank you very much for the great introduction. Good morning.
Morning!
Gold Star mothers, honored guests, veterans, Memorial School students. Today we're honoring our fallen comrades on this Memorial Day. We thank Laredo Independent School District and Memorial School for hosting this ceremony. Being here brings a nostalgic feeling to me because I came to school here. It wasn't Memorial, it was St. Joseph's Academy. And the principal's office was in that corner. And we had to go into the same entrance as you came into this auditorium. I came in as a 3rd grader in 1949, and I graduated in 1960. That's a few years ago, but that's why I feel at home today because of this great school. And you all are carrying the tradition with now the Memorial School, which is the Laredo Independent School District, and it is one great place. It has improved tremendously. I love your football field. Back in my days, it was just plain grass and not so green, but it was great. Today we honor the men and women who gave their lives defending our great nation. Memorial Day is celebrated at Arlington National Cemetery, in which a small American flag is placed on each grave and a wreath is placed on the unknown soldier. We follow the same tradition. Laredo has a proud history of patriots. We have served our country with distinction and honor. Our Laredo fallen heroes have served in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Mediterranean, the Gulf, Grenada, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, and other conflicts to the present. They have fought with the best and have been instrumental in reversing the outcome of a battle from defeat to victory. It comes from our mothers and fathers who have instilled the courage to fight for freedom and protect our families. We have brave women and men who have served and fought battles in air, ground, and sea. They have demonstrated that they have the strength and fortitude to make it happen. Without them, we could not be victorious. I salute our Gold Star mothers for the hardship they have endured, their strength, and the love they have given. We have honored our fallen brothers of all wars. We now grieve for Lance Corporal Rodriguez Velasco, Lance Corporal David Lee Espinosa, and Sergeant Roberto Arizola Jr., who valiantly gave their lives in the Afghanistan and Iraq war. Let us have a moment of silence for our fallen comrades. We also honor the living for the heroic sacrifices that made while they're serving our country. They are part of that elite group that were able to overcome the enemy and all the hardships that come with war. Anyone in an infantry unit was in constant danger. How about those assigned to a reconnaissance unit? Others were helicopter pilots or gunners. Some were assigned to an artillery unit. Truck drivers were very crucial for our ground troops because they delivered sea rations in my time, MREs now, ammunition, and other supplies. They were at risk all the time due to anti-vehicular mines, mortars, and artillery fire. They were lifesavers when they came to pick us up after we'd been on the field for 2 weeks or 3 weeks on a mission that we were able to come back. How about those who were in communications? They were all at risk too. The enemy was looking for those that had a radio and an antenna sticking out of their backs. They would shoot those first. And they also would lay communication wire or antennas for companies, battalion, or division headquarters. They were targets all the time. Others were assigned guard duty at an ammunition bunker. They always ran the risk of incoming mortar fire or somebody of the enemy trying to sneak in and throw explosives into that bunker and blow everybody. That was constant danger too. Jet pilots were in constant danger on a combat mission. And when they returned to base, another very dangerous duty were those that had to disarm the bombs of that jet that had been fired on. What if you were in the Navy and you were in that emergency group when a jet was coming to land into the aircraft carrier that was in bad shape? You were also in danger. Our veterans from Afghanistan and Iraq went through very tough times. Our men and women faced the enemy that lived in the desert and mountains. They fought during severe heat during the day and cold nights and a lot of sand. If you haven't lived in the desert, one of these days, if you ever go on a camping trip, try it for 2 or 3 days. And you know what I'm talking about. Some duties were extremely dangerous and others were unpleasant. If you were assigned to burn human waste, can you imagine what that would be like? That was a duty. I was a combat engineer looking for mines and booby traps. We would go to clear roads every morning at 4:30. We used a device used in the Korean War. It was an AMPRC-3 that would detect metals, and an AMPRC-4 that would detect the difference in soils. Those units weighed 40 pounds. It's like you had a scuba gear on your back, plus all the other stuff that you had on yourself. You know, your rifle, your field marching pack. Then we found out that the Army had a 4-pound transistorized unit. So we sent our senior gunny sergeant to go look for those in Saigon, and by golly, we got 12 units, and my men were extremely happy because now we were walking, looking for mines and booby traps with only 4 pounds on our backs, right? That was outstanding. And our men, my men, got so good at it that we had about a 6-month perfect record, and then we started teaching the infantry and other people how to look for mines and booby traps on roads in essence. However, one was missed, and on the 11th month of my tour, I went over a landmine on my Jeep, and that was how I got wounded. I want you to know that I prayed every day, asking God that I didn't want to be scared in front of my men. I was a second lieutenant, 22 years old, and I had a lot of young folks, 18 to 20, but we had some sergeants that were 25 and 32 years old. And for a 22-year-old man, I didn't want them to look at me and think that I was scared. And I didn't want to die either, so I asked the good Lord that I didn't want to die. We granted both. I'm back. I might not be walking right now, but I'm gonna. If you saw me 2 years ago, I couldn't even move. So we're on our way to recovery. Why did we volunteer for such a dangerous duty? Well, because we loved our country and we're willing to defend it. We are very proud to be an American and believe in democracy. Our fallen comrades believed in these principles just like we do. In closing, I thank our Gold Star mothers, all veterans, Memorial Middle School Administration, Laredo Independent School District, and those that planned the ceremony. God bless you all. Thank you.
Hoorah. Hoorah. Hoorah.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. It has been an honor to have you address our veterans today.
Ma'am.
And now I invite Memorial Middle School students Adelaida Del Real, Jacob Pineda, and Diego Dosal to conduct the formal roll call of our fallen heroes.
World War I, Maurice Akabas,
Present, sir.
George Bigden, Adam Bold,
Here, sir.
Moises Garejo, Jack Carell,
Present, sir.
Alfred J. Cozenu, Leonard Diaz,
Present, sir.
Luis F. Folsom,
Here.
Francisco Garcia,
What?
Benjamin Hastings,
Present, sir.
William H. Lake,
Here, sir.
Miles Little, Edmundo Lopez,
Present, sir.
Luke W. Loftus,
What?
Lorenzo Rendon,
Present, sir.
J.P. Rossi,
Here, sir.
Gustin K. Smith,
What?
Dewey Tillman,
Here, sir.
Percy R. Winch,
What?
Charles E. Woodall,
Present, sir.
Jose Ibarra,
Present, sir.
Jose Zamora,
What?
David Barclay Cantu, a recipient of the Medal of Honor,
Present, sir.
Guillermo Abrego,
Present, sir.
John B. Alexander,
Here, sir.
Juan Alvarez,
What?
Enrique Ambrose,
Present, sir.
Joseph Roger Amparan,
What?
Jesus F. Ayala,
Here, sir.
Daniel Barrera,
What?
Pa C. Bubin,
Present, sir.
Benigno Benavides Jr.,
Here, sir.
Edward C. Bubel,
Present, sir.
Andrew Brubaker,
What?
Celso Cavazos,
Present, sir.
Rodolfo Cavazos,
Here, sir.
Jesus Chapa Babillo,
Present, sir.
Andres Cisneros,
What?
Robert F. Clark,
Here, sir.
John C. Conley,
What?
Joaquin Cortez,
Present, sir.
Frank P. Daughtery Jr.,
What?
Eduardo Davia,
Present, sir.
Luis Degollado,
What?
Edward D. de la Chica,
Present, sir.
Cristobal de la Garza,
Here, sir.
José de la Paz,
Here, sir.
Alfonso A. del Barrio,
Present, sir.
Jesus Dimas,
Present, sir.
Emil Henry Diu,
What?
Kyle N. Drake,
Present, sir.
Manuel Escamilla Jr.,
What?
Cuauhtémoc P. Escobedo,
Here, sir.
Luis Estrada,
Here, sir.
Alfonso R. Flores,
What?
Alfredo Flores,
Present, sir.
Candelario Flores,
Here, sir.
Gilberto Flores,
What?
Reyes Flores Jr.,
Here, sir.
Socorro Flores,
Here, sir.
José Gallegos,
Here, sir.
Conrado Camboa,
What?
George A. Gaona,
Here, sir.
Alfredo García,
What?
Conrado García,
Present, sir.
Erasmo García,
What?
Esteban García Jr.,
Here, sir.
José García Jr.,
What?
Pablo García,
Present, sir.
Reinaldo García,
Present, sir.
Thomas García,
Here, sir.
Amadeo Organza,
Present, sir.
José C. de León,
Present, sir.
Pascual de León,
Here, sir.
Trinidad J. Díaz,
Here, sir.
Faustino Garza,
Present, sir.
Guadalupe H. Garza,
What?
Jesús D. Garza,
Here, sir.
Vicente Garza Jr.,
What?
Blas Antonio Gil,
Here, sir.
Triunfo Gil,
Here, sir.
Arturo González,
Here, sir.
Bernardo M. González.
What?
World War II continued. Ernesto Gonzalez,
Present, sir.
Fulgencio R. Gonzalez,
Here, sir.
Gadier Hector Gonzalez,
Present, sir.
Juan Gonzalez,
What?
Manuel P. Gonzalez,
Here, sir.
Pedro Gonzalez,
Here, sir.
Julian Granados,
What?
Frank E. Gernsney,
What?
Luis P. Guerra,
Present, sir.
Luis Guerra,
What?
Margarito J. Guerrero,
Present, sir.
Noe P. Guevara,
Here, sir.
Carlos P. Gust,
Present, sir.
Santiago R. Gutierrez,
What?
Edward F. Haynes,
Present, sir.
Florentino P. Hernandez,
What?
Salvador T. Hernandez,
Present, sir.
Santiago Hernandez,
What?
Joe Kirkpatrick,
Here, sir.
Mario Leal,
Here, sir.
Thomas R. Leary,
Present, sir.
Antonio Derma Jr.,
What?
Federico C. Linares,
Present, sir.
Philip T. Lisner,
What?
Everaldo Lopez,
Present, sir.
Enrique Luna Jr.,
Here, sir.
Fred Luna,
Here, what?
George T. Meyer,
Present, sir.
A.J. Mann,
Present, sir.
Peter Marinos,
What?
Cruz L. Marquez,
Present, sir.
Alberto Martinez,
What?
Alejo Martinez,
Here, sir.
Antonio Martinez,
Present, sir.
Francisco Martinez,
What?
Julio Martinez,
What?
Jesus U. Martinez,
Present, sir.
Victor P. Martinez,
What?
Salvador Mascoro,
Present, sir.
Harold L. McFarland,
Here, sir.
Geronimo Mendoza,
What?
Domingo Mendoza,
Present, sir.
Enrique Mendoza,
Present, sir.
Hector S. Molina,
Here, sir.
Ernesto Montoya,
Present, sir.
Francisco R. Mora,
What?
Ross M. Morales,
Here, sir.
Jesus Moreno,
What?
Robert F. Mum,
Present, sir.
Jose M. Munoz,
What?
Raldita Murphy,
Present, sir.
Joseph Nial Naranjo,
What?
Baltazar Portales Nieto,
Present, sir.
Fred G. Ochoa,
Here, sir.
Horacio J. Palacios,
Present, sir.
Socrates S. Bacas,
What?
Manuel G. Pedrosa,
Present, sir.
Ignacio Peña,
What?
Jose M. Peña,
Present, sir.
Patricio Peña,
What?
Waldo L. Peña,
Here, sir.
Pedro L. Perez,
Here, sir.
Simon R. Perez,
Present, sir.
Delmar D. Pollock,
Present, sir.
Joaquin Ponce,
Here, sir.
Louis Puster,
What?
Juan G. Quintero,
Here, sir.
Francisco S. Ramirez,
Here, sir.
Calvin Earl Randolph,
What?
Charles E. Randolph,
What?
Jesus Renteria,
Here, sir.
Domingo Reyes,
What?
Alejandro Reina,
Present, sir.
Geronimo Rodriguez Jr.,
What?
Ramiro Rodriguez,
Here, sir.
Simon Rodolfo,
Here, sir.
Domingo Sainz,
Present, sir.
Alfredo Sanchez,
Present, sir.
Santiago Sanchez Jr.,
Present, sir.
Manuel Sandoval,
What?
Thomas Q. Scott,
Present, sir.
Leslie Skaggs,
Here, sir.
Kirby J. Smith Sr.,
What?
World War II continued. Valente J. Solis,
Present, sir.
Marion Random Tarbin Jr.,
Present, sir.
Ricardo S. Urdiales,
Here, sir.
Lauro Uribe,
Present, sir.
Cipriano S. Vaca,
What?
Luis Baus,
Here, sir.
Jose W. Vasquez Jr.,
What?
Robert Volpe,
Present, sir.
Hinton B. Wright,
Here, sir.
Ricardo Cés,
What?
Trinidad B. Ramírez,
Present, sir.
José C. Ramón,
What?
Pedro V. Ramos,
Here, sir.
Joe J. Hogan,
What?
Martín Jaime,
Present, sir.
Gilberto M. Juárez,
Present, sir.
Antonio Picasa Mercado,
Present, sir.
Constantin Mims Jr.,
What?
Korean conflict, Mariano Arredondo,
Present, sir.
Javier H. Ayala,
Here, sir.
Alfredo Cantú,
Present, sir.
Ricardo Castor Jr.,
What?
Joseph M. Castro,
Here, sir.
Lonnie B. Flowers,
What?
Paz Fraustro,
Present, sir.
Humberto Garza,
What?
Oscar González,
Here, sir.
José Roberto Gutiérrez,
What?
Lucio J. Gutiérrez,
Present, sir.
Gustavo Hernández,
Present, sir.
Francisco H. Izquierdo,
Here, sir.
Amado Leal,
What?
Quintín Maravillo,
Present, sir.
Romero M. Martínez,
Here, sir.
Jesús Mendiola,
What?
Oscar M. Morales,
Present, sir.
Arnoldo B. Reina,
Here, sir.
Alfredo Sánchez,
Present, sir.
José Sánchez,
Here, sir.
Cayetano Sosa,
What?
Missing in action: Crescencio Garcia Jr.,
Here, sir.
Ruben Garza,
Up.
Paul H. Gloria,
Present, sir.
Herschel H. Rosso Jr.,
Present, sir.
Alfredo T. Treviño,
Here, sir.
Julio Villarreal.
Up.
Vietnam War: John Adam Avera,
Here, sir.
Florentino Cantu Jr.,
Here.
Juan Carrillo,
Here.
Pedro J. Caudillo,
Here.
Dieter W. Dietz,
Here.
Juan Flores,
Here.
Everardo Galindo Jr.,
Here.
Alejandro Garcia Jr.,
Here.
Antonio Garcia,
Here.
Heriberto A. Garcia,
Here.
José Salustrano Garza,
Here.
Juan José González,
Here.
Rodolfo G. González,
Here.
Steven Hernández,
Here.
Armando Leal Jr.,
Here.
Nathan James Mann,
Here.
Guadalupe Martínez,
Here.
Juan Andrés Martínez,
Here.
Fidel Padilla,
Here.
Homero Pérez,
Here.
William Ball Billy Reed,
Here.
Arturo Salazar,
Here.
Javier Arturo Sánchez,
Here.
José C. Santos,
Here.
Jorge Sosa,
Here.
Ignacio Torres Jr.,
Here.
Reinaldo Torres Jr.,
Here.
Raúl Villa.
Here.
Desert Storm: Edward Sheffield,
Here.
Luis Delgado,
Here.
Iraqi Freedom, Michael Raúl Barrera,
Here.
Juan Rodrigo Rodríguez,
Here.
Roberto Arizola Jr.,
Here.
Belton Locklear III,
Here.
Afghanistan War: David Lee Espinosa.
Here.
And now we will remember our prisoners of war and those missing in action. As you entered Memorial Middle School Gymnasium this morning, you may have noticed a small table in a place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our midst. They're commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers. They're unable to be with us this morning, and so we remember them. This table is set for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner against his oppressors. Remember. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember. The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. Remember, the candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. Remember, a slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember. There is salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. Remember, the glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. Remember. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember, all of you who served with them and called them comrades, who depended upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember, until the day they come home. Remember. At this time, we invite our board members to assist in placing a wreath of flowers in memory of our fallen heroes.
It's here.
Military protocol calls for a 21-gun salute, which will be conducted by the Webb County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard. Taps will be played by Mr. Roberto Lopez Vidal M. Trevino, Magnet School Instructor. I would like to call up Memorial Middle School student Diego Rosal to close with a benediction, followed by the retirement of colors for the Figueroa High School JROTC Color Guard.
We remember today all those who have come before us and given the greatest gift to our democratic nation, their lives. Their duty, their honor, and their lives are precious gifts that must be given to the future of our country and our families. The duty of our veterans past and present is the fiber of the word freedom and is made stronger by a recognition of service and sacrifice. We honor that service today and should carry it forward to our children to honor. Freedom and democracy are the result all of the most honorable this country has produced. Today, we stand to remember the most honorable amongst us, and we must continue to carry the burden of their sacrifice, lest we lose sight of what true freedom is. Today is for remembering. Stand and honor them. Walk in their path of duty. Remember the cost, and hold in your heart the cost of freedom. Thank you.
Forward, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Reverse, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Left, right, hold. All right, color. Thank you, sir. About face. Oh, good. Face. Look. Reset. On. Oh, good. On. Correct. Retire. Let's. Wait. Go. Five. Pace. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right. Left. 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 Right. Left. Left. Order. Hope.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and students for joining us this morning. It is truly an honor to have you visiting our school. Your presence means so much to us. And I invite you to our reception. Please enjoy the refreshments and the company of our veterans. Thank you.
And the Ramsey.